Oh, hey, good morning. It's Huntington disease, Todd. I think we got the correct lighting now. So today, uh, the topic is why don't you go out anymore? Sometimes with Huntington's disease, we end up becoming homebodies. We end up staying home quite a bit, and the reason that I found that has happened to me is that getting ready to go out of the house is a lot more difficult than it used to be. So because of the changes in our mind, you know, I used to be a go-getter, a hustler, get up in the morning, take shower, get out of the house, have coffee, go to Starbucks, whatever it was, put on my press shirt, go out and hit the day, work all day long, do 15 things on the way home, go out with the kids, all that stuff. Currently, because of the condition that my brain has gotten in, I don't really, necessarily want to do all that. So just getting out of the house is a challenge, so we don't do it. Okay, taking a shower, getting ready, shaving. Today, before I did this video, I had to actually shave, trimmed up my little goatee here. I brushed my teeth. Again, sometimes, all these hygienical things, we don't care that much about them because they're just not high priority anymore. So getting out of the house for us is a lot more difficult. So my wife and I were talking the other day, and she said maybe I could explain just some of the difficulties of what's happening inside of my brain. I have a whole lot of things going on, and I'm going to head on just one at a time. But the topic today is why don't you get out of the house anymore? Or, why don't you go out anymore? Today, for example, I got up very early. I had to take a shower, had to shave, had to remember all the other things you do after you get out of the shower, had to brush my teeth. So all those things are things that are normal place for everybody, right? There are things that you do every day. You don't think about it. You just do it. Well, with us guys, with Huntington's disease, it's no longer, just normal to do all those things. It's a lot easier if you get in the habit of just sitting at home, staying on the couch, you know, not shaving, not leaving. So that's why we don't want to go to certain events, don't want to go to church every Sunday because it takes a lot of effort. I mean, you can do it. You do so many things every day. But when you have this brain disease called Huntington's, it can become such a giant challenge. So today, for example, I was getting ready for this video and I've started back to making my thumbnails again. Doing the videos on YouTube is going to challenge my brain. A simple little thing I wanted to put, change the colors around so that the font was one color and it had a border of a different color on the outside. I've searched for 20, 30 minutes to just figure that out. But while I was in the thumbnail programming thing for for YouTube, I just went ahead and made a few more video thumbnails for the next few days. I can record these videos in the morning. They're called a live, but what I do is I just make them and I'll post them later on. I'm not doing the best at this, but I'm doing better. Doing these videos is helping me. So we don't want to go out of the house because we just get into this other routine. The other routine is, maybe we watch TV, maybe we sit around, maybe we get complacent. I don't want to say we're lazy, but our brain doesn't prioritize things the way it used to. Sometimes we can sit and watch TV, and that's very, very appealing to us. It doesn't mean, that we're trying to slough off, or it doesn't mean that we're trying, be difficult or whatever. So that's another thing about this disease. It keeps you from really wanting to leave the house. So again, this morning, I made these videos. I tried while I was waiting. Actually, I tried to charge my microphone yesterday. I plugged it into the computer and that didn't work. So I had to plug it into my charger. So this morning, while it was charging up, I made a few more, thumbnails for future videos. So this Huntington's disease, Todd, over there, you're going to see a couple videos you can click on and watch. You can subscribe with a little face that'll come up over there. Over there. I can't point to the right place. Over there. Now, like the page, subscribe. What I'd really like you to do is watch this to the end, click on a few videos. It'll show YouTube that you care about this whole thing. It'll get me. I'm trying to get people to watch the videos just so they will know more about Huntington's disease. I get most of my views from people that are searching about information for Huntington's disease because that's what I specialize in. However, it's still a thing that you have to, make sure that everybody wants to know about Huntington's disease. Share the video if you want, but really, if you get notifications on my thing, I can, you'll know when I'm going to post these videos and you can look at them. Going to keep this one a little shorter. Try to just focus on one thing at a time. Why don't you go out anymore? It becomes a real hassle for us to do all this. Huntington's disease Todd, go to my page on YouTube and subscribe. And you just have a great day.